A frightful new Ministry of Defense, MOD, report circulating in the Kremlin today states that messages just received from Northern Fleet warships patrolling the waters of the Arctic Sea in search of what is believed to be an unknown aircraft shot down by the Americans last week, documents that the largest earthquake in recorded history has struck the northern slope of Alaska and is an area known as the Bermuda Triangle of Alaska where, over the past 50 years, over 20,000 people have mysteriously disappeared, thus making this region one of the most dangerous places on Earth. According to this report, for over 150 years, Russian scientists have documented the mysterious region known as the Bermuda Triangle of Alaska, most notably the accounts of the native Tlingit peoples living there who, for thousands of years, have integrated in this peculiar religious culture an evil spirit named Kushtaka that they describe as a cross between a man and an otter that captures people who have drowned or gotten lost, whisking them away to his realm never to be seen again. Most particularly lost travelers who wander too close to the pyramids these natives peoples claim lie buried in ice and snow. After selling Alaska to the United States on March 30, 1867, this report continues, Russian scientists continued documenting events occurring in the Bermuda Triangle of Alaska, with their becoming alarmed when noting that when the U.S. began keeping records for this region nearly 50 years ago, a staggering number of over 20,000 people in this region have simply disappeared, the most celebrated of whom was the powerful U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs who, on October 16, 1972, flew into this mysterious triangle region never to be heard from again in spite of the U.S. government throwing every resource it could muster, reportedly including the latest in high-tech spy planes, at trying to find the crash site, with the search going on for 39 days before it was abandoned, and no hint of the airplane or its passengers ever being discovered to this very day. In just 2007 alone, this report says, 2,833 missing person notices for people traveling in this mysterious triangle region were posted by the Alaska State Police. That in a state with just over 670,000 residents, averages out to about 4 in every 1,000 people living there disappearing, thus making Alaska one of the most dangerous places in the world. During the earliest years of the Cold War, this report details, Russian scientists began receiving a voluminous amount of information about the Bermuda Triangle of Alaska that was provided to them by Russian military intelligence services monitoring the United States construction in this region of the distant Early Warning Line System, DEW line, that was built in the early 1950s and took some 8,000 to 10,000 scientists, engineers, and construction workers, many of whom began to relate their accounts of discovering pyramids buried under Alaskan ice and snow. Though the pyramids of Egypt are a commonplace global landmark for all human beings, this report notes, as mysterious and awing as the recorded 120 pyramids of Egypt are, they are but a small fraction of the currently uncountable pyramid and pyramidal structures across our entire planet, with pyramids being publicly recorded in places like the rest of northern Africa, Austria, France, and the astronomical amount that rest in Mesoamerica, southern United States, Mexico, Central and South America. As well India, China, and even an ancient city underwater involving pyramidal architecture off the shores of Japan, and that now, also, includes Antarctica where the mysterious snow pyramid has been discovered. Since the 1950s, this report continues. Reports continued to surface from Alaska describing the discovery of some of the oldest pyramids in the world, one of the most ominous and mysterious being the Dark Pyramid located between Denali and Nome, and whose existence was confirmed on May 22, 1992, after China exploded an underground nuclear weapon whose shockwaves circled the entire globe, allowing seismographs to determine that this huge underground Alaskan pyramid was larger than the Great Pyramid at Giza in Egypt. Doing the most research on these Alaskan pyramids, once information about them began to be received in the early 1950s, this report concludes, was the late Dr. Scientist Volodymyr Krasnoholovets, one of the world's most renowned physicists and pioneers in the mathematic field of tessellation, and who, with his Russian military scientific team, built numerous giant pyramids, the most famous being a 144-foot pyramid outside of Moscow, in order to discover why the ancient peoples of our world placed them all across the globe, with his first determining that pyramids are, indeed, A still active planetary weapons system but whose pyramid physics benefits to humanity do include 1. The immune system of organisms improved, blood leukocyte composition increased. 2. Improved regeneration of tissue. 3. Seeds stored in the pyramid for 1 to 5 days showed a 30 to 100% increase in yield. 4. Soon after construction of the Lake Seliger Pyramid a marked improvement of the ozone was noted above the area. 5. Seismic activity near the pyramid research areas are reduced in severity and size. 6. Violent weather also appears to decrease in the vicinity of the pyramids. 7. Pyramids constructed in southern Russia, Bashkiria, appeared to have a positive effect on oil production with oil becoming less viscous by 30% and the yield of the oil wells increased according to tests carried out by the Moscow Academy of Oil and Gas. 8. A study was done on 5,000 prisoners who ingested salt and pepper that had been exposed to the pyramid energy field. The test subjects exhibited a greatly reduced violence rate and overall behavior was much improved. 9. Standard tissue culture tests showed an increase in survival of cellular tissue after infection by viruses and bacteria. 10. Radioactive substances show a decreased level of radiation inside the pyramid. 11. There are reports of spontaneous charging of capacitors. 12. Physicists observed significant changes in superconductivity temperature thresholds and in the properties of semiconducting and carbon nanomaterials. 13. Water inside the pyramid will remain liquid to -40 degrees Celsius but freeze instantly if jostled or bumped in any way.